Why are people playing golf in this medieval devotional manuscript? It's actually so unusual that the entire manuscript is known as the Golf Book. It's a medieval book of hours, which was a kind of devotional text owned by both men and women throughout Europe from the 13th century onwards. You will undoubtedly have seen pictures of them before because these are the single most common surviving kind of illuminated manuscript. However, the introduction of the printing press put a spanner in the works. It was suddenly incredibly easy to create large quantities of much cheaper books of hours, and artists had to change to accommodate that. This particular book was produced by a man called Simon Benning, who was known as the foremost illuminator of his day. He ran a workshop in Bruges, producing large numbers of these incredibly stunning books of hours, as well as creating paintings on boards and parchment. As a result, he can be seen as one of the leading figures of the shift in the skills and techniques that have been developed by illuminators into the broader artistic world. In particular, their influence on landscape paintings and portrait miniatures. What Simon and other illuminators of the period did was expand their images beyond initial letters to fill up entire pages of the books. And where Simon particularly shone was in his depictions of rural life in the calendar sections. Now, while all books of hours were individual and unique, there were certain standard things that most would contain, and one of those was a calendar giving you the festivals and saints' days to be celebrated throughout the year. And this became connected as well with the idea of the labours of the month. Each month's calendar would be associated with an image depicting what would be being done at the time. Simon created a number of depictions of rural life. V&A has a couple on display. They've got a month of September depicting the harvest of wheat and an April showing lovers playing music by a canal. He also created images of ploughing the fields, of shearing sheep. And this image of potentially golf appears in one of these calendars in the month of September. It's alongside a full-size image of ploughing, and its place here is actually a little bit of a mystery. We don't quite know what's going on. Golf in its current form developed slightly later than this in Scotland, but what we may well be seeing here is an earlier version of the game called golf, in which long sticks with curved ends were used to hit small balls into a target. In this case, the target obviously is a hole, very reminiscent of later golf courses. Why September? We don't know, but it's fascinating insight into early games and also into the lives of people that we don't normally get to see from this period.